As I said, I married her with secondary school. When we came, we registered in Nile University here in Abuja, and she read political science, international relations, and came out with first class, the third best graduating student in the university. And immediately they gave her scholarship for her master's. In fact, when I came to buy the form for the master's, they said no, her name is on scholarship. They just gave me the form free. And she did her master's there. That will have cost us nearly 5 million in registration, apart from other things, for free. And she also came out with first class in her master's. Peace and conflict resolution. And since then, God has been faithful. Thank you viewers once again for tuning in. Even as I conclude on my testimony, it's good to appreciate God for my family too, because God has been faithful from my childhood to the present time. I remember one of my Ephesus, I told you how I went to Suleja. I was to pay accommodation in Lugbe, but ended up in Suleja, not knowing that my wife's house is just beside. To be frank, even if that is the only thing that took me to Suleja, to find a wife, I believe God has been faithful to that, and I appreciate God for that. So as I went to Suleja, I was active in the church, as I said, in every activity. And my wife's house was close, though the father was Catholic. The late mother, because I did not meet the mother, was Ekwa. So often she took them to Ekwa church. So for them, if they so wish, they can join the father in Catholic church, and whenever they want to go back to Ekwa where the mother was, goes back to Ekwa. And before going there, I was in a relationship from campus through Nile. We are both leaders, a powerful sister from Adamawa. We had a 4 years relationship from campus to my NYC. And my prayer then was that the moment I start work, in 2 years I should settle down. Though from a very poor background, I trusted God that will work. So after my NYC, I was working, I moved to Suleja. Immediately I sat down with her and tell her that has been my prayer. She too, we prayed together with her. So, but unfortunately, after 1 year, she came to me and said she's not seen a future with me because she don't think she can marry a civil servant. This is 1 year I've done in the Ministry of Works and nothing to show for it. Therefore, she cannot stay in Suleja, nor can she marry a civil servant. If at all we will try to marry, I should look for accommodation, 2-bedroom in town, and at least then we can talk about marriage. So with that, I pleaded, I brought my friends. She even prayed on the 1st day of January to end the relationship, and she left. So one thing I appreciate God for her was God help us to keep ourselves pure, because we are both children of God and we serve God and we did very well. So when I was thinking of marriage, I now said to her, I have barely a year, because I say I would love to marry at age 30. I've been praying to God since childhood. These are the steps I want to follow, and God has been faithful. So I wanted to marry December, we ended January. So I now said, let me give 3 months prayer and fasting. I will not talk to anybody. I will not think of anybody. After 3 months, I will now trust God and make a choice of a wife. After 3 months, I prayerfully considered 3 sisters. And I went to my reverend in the church. The reverend, all of them within the church, because I said, I don't want to start from somebody I don't even know. Then I'll start studying their character. Let me just speak from the church that I have already known the character. I believe it's the leadership of God also. So I mentioned them to him. He agreed. He now said blessing is good. The only thing is that her father is Catholic and he drinks, and she has only SSCE, while the other two are graduates. One was a nurse, one was a graduate. To him, I should go for one of the two graduates, if it is that. But if it is and God's leading, he felt blessing is the best. I say okay. I still went and met 2 or 3 other members of the church. One was the choir master, because 2 of them were in the choir. But all of them zeroed in blessing my wife. So I trusted God for that. One day we were going back from youth fellowship. I stopped her and tell her inform her of my intention. She told me she don't want any deceiving life, because she has only secondary school. Because I asked her, won't you go A-levels? She said the father said he cannot further her education. Her mother is that he has married another wife, and unfortunately the stepmother wasn't treating them well, unlike her children, and therefore no future education for her. I said, but if you have accepted me, I'm okay with you like that. In fact, the Reverend has also advised me to go for a graduate. I say no. She now agreed with the parents. The father said, as long as I'm a Christian, though from Bauchi State, she thief from Benue State, he is okay. And that's how we agreed to marry each other. And in fact, the wedding was like, I say, I don't have almost anything, she don't have almost anything. I say, all I want is a wife. I don't want anything much. But that wedding was one of the best in Suleja. 11th of January, 2003. And the marriage was very successful. And as God will have it, within a year, or within that, it was January 11th, the wedding. On the 8th of December, the same year, 11 months later, God blessed us with a son, Walter. I call him Walter because Walter Gowans, Thomas Kent, Roland Bingham that brought EQUA. We just commemorated EQUA Founders Week, first week of January. So I also had to pick from the 3 pioneer SIM missionaries, any of the name, either Kent, Walter, or Gowans. She now picked Walter, and that was how we named him. And we have been doing very well by His grace. God's opened doors for us. Within 2-3 years, as I testified before, God has been blessing us. I can say I have one of the best marriage. Unfortunately, when money comes, sometimes trials comes. I love my wife. I was doing very well. And as I told you before, during my work as an engineer, I traveled all across the country. On a sad note that I don't want to ever remember, there was a copper that was serving with us in Works and Housing, who was like, you are traveling, I want to escort you one day when you are traveling. I didn't suspect anything. I said, no problem with that. I was to go to Kaduna, she accompanied me. When we went to reception, I was paying for 2 rooms. She said, no. Why is the essence of 2 rooms? That means I've costing you spending more. No need of 2 rooms. Unfortunately, that's how I was deceived. For some months, I was insane. But God was very gracious that I don't have peace of mind. And I was very open to my wife. So I picked the courage to confess to my wife, tell her everything after battling. We had a very rough time. Up to the sense that I say we must see the pastor to pray for us so that we overcome, we forget that incidents. As God will have it, we prayed and fasted, and God gave us the grace for the love to come back. But that was hell. The 3, 4, 6 months was like hell, that I never pray it happens again. But for the love and forgiving nature of my wife, we move on as nothing happened, and our love grew from one ladder of grace to another. So that was how God helped us, and God has been faithful to us since then. We moved on our 10th wedding anniversary. That's when we dedicated our house in Lokogoma, a duplex. That was our 10th year. I remember when we married, we were having nothing. We were sharing toilets and bath with everybody. But before then, we even built a house in Masaka and various places. And God blessed us with 3 boys, and then a girl, and a foster daughter. And all of them are doing very, very well to the glory of God. A lot of things happen. She's doing very well in the Women Fellowship. In fact, as I said, I married her with secondary school. When we came, we registered in Nile University here in Abuja. And she read political science, international relations, and came out with first class, the third best graduating student in the university. And immediately they gave her scholarship for her master's. In fact, when I came to buy the form for the master's, they said no, her name is on scholarship. They just gave me the form free. And she did her master's there. That would have cost us nearly 5 million in registration, apart from other things, for free. And she also came out with first class in her master's, peace and conflict resolution. And since then, God has been faithful. Our children are doing well in their universities. 3 of them are in Birmingham University. The other, even this JAM that was written, a lot of things happened. He lost 28 minutes of the time because it went blank. But the result is one of the best results also that he has. That is Silas. So God has been good. And we never lack. Sometimes because of pressures in Bauchi, in politics, no food, no anything. But God always provides. Always. I remember we used to travel to different countries for holidays. Since I joined politics, no money to go anyway. So my daughter said we should go to Lagos for Easter. I said, okay, let's trust God for that. Since February, trusting God, we'll go, no way. Until 1 week to Easter, no money. One my nan say, and that's the friend of the governor, just go and tell him your needs. I say, I don't want to talk to anybody so that the person will not think I am after anything. My spirit said, go and talk to him. When I talked to him, I said, sir, you know, I've been working with the governor all these years. When we are under pressure, I have school fees to pay, April. And my children want us to travel to Lagos for holidays. How much do you need? I gave him the exact figure. He said, bring account number. I gave him my wife account number. He just transferred it. And that is how God has been meeting our needs. If you work for God, He will work for you. Even the community in Toro, in Bauchi State, everywhere is engineer, Joshua. And God has been faithful. Every church launching, every ministry, it is us. Not only in Bauchi, in Jigawa and Yobe, where there are no Christians in high positions, they still come to Bauchi and invite us for their luncheons and programs. Sometimes you don't have anything, but God will open the door. I have never begged, we have never lacked, we have never had delay paying school fees or anything. God has indeed been very, very faithful. It has been a wonderful thing working with God. In fact, all the parts of the Lord are truth and mercy. That is God for you. I sincerely appreciate God for all the testimonies I've shared for you. It's for us to learn and to pray where we have made mistakes, to know how to overcome it. And where we have given advice, I trust God will use it to be a blessing to you and your own ministry too. Keep praying for us. We are just starting. I believe the future is greater. Thank you, and God bless you.
Viewers, I know Blessing Sanga. You need to hear Joshua's wife singing. That voice is from heaven. The same voice she has transferred to her daughter. That family is blessed. God has favored them. Nothing to show by way of wealth since he entered politics. But the good that he has done, the number of people he has helped to get jobs, the government patronage he has attracted to his people and to Christians, to the community where he comes from, tremendous. Even support for Khan and things like that. If he had remained in his own practice, he wouldn't have reached where he is today. People who receive government jobs have a job to hold for life. So when you are responsible for the hiring of tens of young people into government position, what is better and greater than that? So Joshua has been a blessing. God has also blessed him. God has favored him. He told you that he made a mistake. Yes, none of us is perfect. See, if a man judges himself, God will not judge you again. The seed of Christ in him will not allow him to continue that lifestyle. He felt sorry. He felt sad. He felt defiled. Quickly went and told his wife. How many people would do something like that and tell their wives? Himself told his wife, this is what I've done. So that is how you will know that somebody's heart belongs to God. God has forgiven him. If you have found yourself in error and you think that, oh, what you have done is too bad, there's no sin that God will not forgive. A righteous person may fall 7 times, but he will surely rise again. Get up. Dust yourself and continue in holiness, in righteousness, purity of life, and in fear of God. Make that your goal, to live a life to please God, not man. You'll be a blessing. Well, the narration comes to an end now. But that is not the end of Joshua's story. Anytime God does anything for him, he will come back and record an episode to mark that. Thank you for listening in. And you've had an earful. More stories are coming. Please forward these clips to your friends. You yourself subscribe to this channel. Make sure, if you don't know Jesus, give your life to Jesus. Watch that film that is coming up, that clip that is coming up. The title is The Challenge. Establish a relationship with Jesus today. He will take you on an adventure that will be as exciting, if not even more exciting, than what he has done for Joshua. Thank you, and God bless you.